Exactly. We are going more.
I guess my toolbox is going to be 7.5, not 8.25 wide.
Oh!
Yeah.
Snap!
It's a design feature.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, you're live.
All right, I'm Phil. He's Logan. We got John, Dylan, and Mark in shop today. We're going to touch base with all of them, but first I thought I'd just give you the update on my table project as it's coming along. I had some pretty good shop time this week over my lunch hours, which is kind of nice. And the weather's been gorgeous, so it always lifts your spirits a little bit. What I have is the lapped base assembly for the table and the upper arm assembly that's all put together and ready to start the ebonizing process. But I wanted to talk about a couple of bits today in relation to this project. Here's two of the pieces for the column, and I shaped that curve by making a template first, and then I used one of these guys. It's my new favorite flush trim bit. It's one of the ones with the bearing on the tip and on the shank end. This is an Amana one that has the slightly angled cutting edges on it. And what I like about it is you don't have to worry about like switching bits to be able to find the right orientation for working with the grain. And I think that the larger cutting diameter, I don't know, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong here, I feel like is a smoother cut than a smaller diameter.
I concur.
Yeah?
Because science.
Because of science, yeah. So if you're anti-science and you want to argue with that, that's totally fine with me. But get thee to your favorite router bit retailer and find one that has the bearings on the top and bottom.
Well, in a larger diameter, we'll technically be spinning a little bit faster as well,
True.
won't it?
Yeah.
So that might help.
That might help. I just,
Science.
for some reason, I just think that the bigger diameter makes a smoother cut. Like it can take a little bit bigger of a bite. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then I put a beveled edge on along the curved faces or curved edge of my column pieces, and I did that with that same 22.5 degree chamfer bit that I used on the tabletop. So I have those two profiles playing pretty well with each other. So after this broadcast is over, I'm going to start on the ebonizing process on the base and top assembly. So I think we're going to head it over to John in the house, who's not on the camera today.
Yes.
John, can you give my lens a little blow quick? I think it's dusty. Thank you.
Sorry about that. I talked to John today, so sorry. Get a little bad breath there. But yeah, I'm John Doe. I'm usually behind the camera if you don't recognize me. So I'm in front of the camera today. But I've been in the shop, kind of screwing around this week, digging through the scrap pile, building some mallets. You might have seen a video we uploaded, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, where I built a mallet out of scrap wood, and it was all laminated pieces of European beech and wingay, and so I gave that one away to my dad, so thought I'd build another one, and while I was set up building this one, I had enough to make two more of them. So I'll probably keep one, save one for the shop, and then maybe eventually when I get them done, we'll give one of them away here on either YouTube or Facebook or whatnot. So if you're interested in making a shop mallet like this, you can find the plans at woodsmithplans.com and look at our YouTube channel and find the video of where I made one of these. So
Any lessons you learned the second time around?
the first time around, I used a flush trim bit to shape the handle here, and I found there was a lot of chipping and whatnot on the climb pad. I wasn't using your fancy double bearing bit or whatnot.
Well, you had one using yours the other day.
Yeah, and I really like that too, so we were talking about that. But I might not, or this time around I didn't do that, I just bandsawed it out, did a little filing, sanding, and seemed to work pretty well. But I don't know, I kind of like this design, and like I said, so I made one for myself and got a couple extra.
Cool.
So
Can we upsize it? Like,
Yeah,
4 times the
we're talking
size
about
and a
that.
two-handed.
So maybe making like a watermelon smashing mallet. Got
Yes.
a big handle. Maybe get a bigger head
Go
on
Gallagher
it.
on it.
Maybe do some prototyping. See what we come up with.
You grow
So.
your hair out.
Yep. Second career. So,
Suspenders.
but that's what I got. And shoot over to Dylan.
Welcome everybody. I'm Dylan, project designer here at Woodsmith. I believe last week we were kind of talking about or visiting with the lamp project here. So I do have the actual legs and the stretchers kind of not actually glued up. They're the hardware I used for this. I used socket screws and threaded inserts actually. And the reason for that was that we actually needed to be able to remove the top to access the bulb in the middle of the lamp, so there will be a longer fabric shade that is able to be removed, and then again the top will be able to be taken off. So I just did I ended up continuing that kind of look and or joinery throughout, just to keep a little bit of consistency, even though none of the rest of it really needs to be able to be taken apart or disassembled. I just carried that design feature without. So from here, I've been working with some stain samples. I did actually just get in some of I ordered, it's called adhesive back styrene. There's not a whole lot to look at here, but again, it's just kind of a semi-trans film with adhesive back, and this is applied to the fabric or what you're gonna end up using for the shade, and it ultimately gives your shade the rigidity it needs to retain its form, but also helps kind of disperse the light a bit, being that semi-trans that it is, so you don't get a very brilliant light just coming out in the center of this lamp, and again, hopefully displacing the light appropriately. So that's kind of where I'm at with there. Waiting on a couple more pieces of hardware for that, and we'll be tackling that next week. Since it is Friday, it was nice to step away from this project a little bit. I've been doing a lot of rendering and doing drawings this week in the computer. So like Phil, I've got a little bit of a personal project going on here. I'm tackling the Carpenter's Toolbox from Shop Notes. I don't remember which number, but it's from back in like 2005. So it's been a minute, but I've wanted my own kind of personalized toolbox for a while. I started working on the machinist chest one we had almost 2 years ago, and I've completely abandoned it, thinking that it wouldn't suit my needs as much, seeing that the drawers were a lot smaller. This just seemed like a little bit more of a practical toolbox for me. I know Phil actually customized his, made it a little bit smaller. I think I'm going to go with the full size in this, with the exception of the fact that I cut my sides a little short, so mine might be improvised a little bit by error of my own. So I've got the 2 sides here, or 2 longer sides here, and then the 2 shorter sides here. And I know there was a couple options for that as far as joining. There's box, and then we did some rapid joints with some the carpenter's nails.
Cut nails.
Raw head nails.
Raw head nails. So I'm actually going to do finger joints for mine, just a little bit of contrast to Phil's, and then hopefully have that kind of work on this continuously with the other projects. So that's what I have going right now. Again, check in next week and make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think we're on our way over to see what Mark's got going on. So thanks for stopping by.
Some nice looking walnut.
Yeah, so Logan could probably fill you on this, the man behind the camera, but this was, again, fill me in. You bought this from somebody on
I bought that, yeah. It was a tree that was taken down in Waterloo, Iowa about 40 years ago.
So been air dried for 30, 40 years.
Yeah. That's the board back. That's one of the boards back there.
I can't remember if I mentioned this or alluded to it at one point. I did do some strips for another project. It's the same walnut. This has been probably close to a year, but again, 40 years of air drying with no stickering. That's what that ends up doing. This board is straight as an arrow, and it's just been sitting on my bench again, not stickered or anything. So, yeah, it's very nice. Very
nice stuff to work with.
Yeah, very nice stuff to work with.
Okay.
Mark, has the Empire struck?
Hey everyone! Okay, progress on the Empire chest this week. This week I've been a drawer making machine, so, well, even though it's only 5, so. But there's been quite the process in making these drawers. There's been numerous glue-ups just to get the height for these. They're pretty large. And the fact that I needed to stain the edges of these fronts before I assembled it all, so I couldn't imagine doing it after. That'd be just plain miserable. I guess I could have got my kids in here to give it a little paintbrush, but. So other than that, got the drawers done. So I've been working on the top today. So this is another glue up that I did earlier. So there's numerous pieces of cherry. I'm trying to maintain a straight grain in the cherry, so I'm sure you can see that.
Oh, like
So I'll get that stained up. So this is going to be the same colour as the turn-ins. As you see there, the top's going to be the same colour and the feet. So comes down to doing the turn-ins next week. So save the best till last. So hopefully I've got all of next week to practice, and then maybe I can do a Facebook Live on the Friday. We're actually putting the real thing to work. So check in next week. That's what I've got going on today. So
Did you learn anything about using the dovetail jig? All these drawers?
other than it's frustrating.
You found all the parts though.
Got all the parts. The only thing I had an issue with is one of the actual jig for the dovetailing mechanism was loose. There's a couple of screws that were loose on it, so it was kind of moving on me. So I was trying to figure out what the problem was because my joints weren't lining up on one corner. So Chris came over and said, "Yep, they're loose, tightened them up." So Chris Fitch fixed it. So that was the problem solved. So off we went with the rest of them. But
Logan, you've been working on something just a little while ago.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll wait till next week.
Oh yeah?
I'll have a fleet of them. I'll have a forest. I'll have a forest.
Of them? All right.
Yes.
Okay, well that just about wraps it up, everybody. Thanks for joining us today on Friday. Again, if you have any questions or comments about what's going on behind the scenes here at Woodsmith Magazine or with the TV show, we'd love to hear from you. You can connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. We're all around the socials. So other than that, we'll see you next time. Also, keep in mind, we just had yesterday, Bob Zimmerman did a great job on his cordless tools seminar. Next month, on the 14th of November, 11 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a seminar on building better boxes. So some of the details that go into it, pretty timely considering that it's coming up on Christmas time. And between November 14th and when you need to have those gifts wrapped up, you have plenty of time to make a box or three. So hope you join us for that. And as always, there's always the all access pass for the seminars. And in the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to be announcing the schedule for next year's seminars. We got the topics and presenters just about all locked in. So take a look at that. That's at woodsmithshop.com/seminars.
Facebook or YouTube?
The OBS.
All right. I think that's it. See you, everybody.